Hi, Paul Slackis, Good News Planet, speaking to Kelli Ellis. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm wonderful, thank you.
Good. Design and entertaining expert, and been on a lot of TV shows and radio shows, and it's the holiday season or any season, and you like to entertain?
I do like to entertain. I love opening my doors and having guests come and stay, and creating memories is really what the holiday season is all about. And so I like to be the bearer of good news and good times, yes.
If someone wants to stay a little bit longer than you might want them to stay, like maybe they had a couple, they're
Yeah, yeah.
having too much of a good time. What's a delicate way to go about doing that?
You
Saying,
know, it's either that, or we have unexpected guests, or a lot of us are going to have guests that'll be coming out of town, and they're expected guests.
right,
And
okay,
those are the ones we want to be prepared for. We really want to make sure that we create a comfortable environment, and that's really what this is about. Whether you're a host or a guest, is creating comfort. Creating a little personal style, and I definitely have some tips for
good,
both guests
great,
and hosts. So the first thing you can't be enough of is prepared.
okay.
Right, and doing things ahead of time, I'd say right about now is when you want to get on top of those lists.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a big fan of lists because, like most of us, we've got so much going on in our lives that having lists really helps us get through the holidays, especially when you start getting chaotic and lots of people start showing up. So I like to do a menu list ahead of time, kind of plan it out, have an idea of what I want to serve. If somebody wants to bring something wonderful, you can check that off the list, but kind of creating a menu. And this is something that most of us don't do, is maybe ask us if we have food allergies or definitive preferences. That's always nice to make sure that, all of our guests are happy and healthy while they're staying with us.
That's very responsible, Kelly.
Thank you, thank you.
No, that's very nice. You're
Well,
really
you never know.
you're already up front.
Yeah.
Are showing you care about
Yes.
everybody.
And that's the key to it, is letting everybody know, I really want you to enjoy your time here and enjoy the stay and enjoy the holidays and make good memories, not bad. And, we want to keep things positive. And so, obviously the more prep time you can do, the better. If you can freeze things and keep them for, you make them ahead of time and freeze them and keep them for that night and just have to warm them up, that's perfect.
I imagine vegetarian is a big comment that people very
Absolutely.
possibly will say you're a
Exactly.
vegetarian.
Yes.
You
And
know,
that's a preference. Hmm.
and so if you really want to be a nice host, instead of just giving them one little pasta dish or whatever,
Yeah.
you kind of put that into consideration.
Exactly, and having a few options for them so they feel welcome, because the whole point of opening your doors is to make people feel welcome. But why stop there?
Okay, what else? This is great.
Okay, this is good. If we're decorating, I, being an interior designer, have clients who are panic stricken right now, who are trying to put their homes together and get ready for parties, and so I say prioritize. You really don't have to spend a bunch of money, but it's really nice to add special touches where it matters. So in the entryways, obviously, in the rooms where you're entertaining, focusing your decor there. Don't forget the guest bathroom. That's important.
Uh-huh.
And obviously the guest bedroom. If you are having guests coming to stay out of town, bags in hand, it's so nice to put a little touch of Christmas, but also just to create comfort, because that's what it's really all about. If you are hosting and you have guests who are staying for an extended period of time, there's nothing better than showing them how much you care by adding the little personal touches. I personally love to put a photo of myself and the guest at last Christmas and how much fun we had then.
That's a good one.
So when they walk in, they say, "Oh yeah, we're going to be making some more of those memories."
That's a
It's going to be
great.
a good time. I know when I travel, I really miss my sleep number bed, and so you have to remember, people really miss their beds. It's probably the number one thing you do miss when you're traveling. So
Hmm.
go the extra mile to make it comfortable. Nice sheets, everything's fluffy. Nece pillows. And remember that you don't want your guests hobbling around in pain because they're sleeping on your pull-out mattress. Try to step things up a little bit.
Aha, Kelly, I think really, let's be fair. I've done a lot of stories on the sleep number
Yeah.
with Pete and a lot of good people,
Yeah.
and I learned a lot about it. I think you should get a couple extra beds and ask them, in addition to vegetarian, what number are they?
Oh, I absolutely agree. I tell you, and depending on how much shopping you've done, your number may change. I can tell you mine does. That's for sure. If I'm shopping or working with clients for the holiday season, I love the flexibility.
But
Of
then
being
they're
able to.
never leaving, Kelly. So
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's the flip side of being a guest and knowing when to leave. Absolutely. And you never know. Maybe they'll go buy themselves a bed
there you
once they
go.
get home. But if you are a guest and you really do want to make a good impression and be asked back, then don't hesitate to show up with a host gift. It's really so sweet, but it doesn't have to be, something simple. Everybody gets tired of bringing a bottle of wine, but why don't you bring some really nice wine glasses to go with the wine?
Mm-hmm.
So things that kind of do double duty, I really like, that go beyond just that day, or that minute.
Uh-huh.
It's really nice to really think about who you're buying for. So maybe get personal there as well, make some lists. I know I like to make a little list, put somebody's name, and I'll put new job or new house. Jake's got a new baby. Alexa's got a sweet tooth, and so maybe I'll get Jake a coffee maker. He
Sure.
might need that. Or I'll get Alexa her favorite candy and some cute candy jars. Something that lasts a little bit beyond the time at hand. It lets people know how much you care about them.
Isn't it? Don't you think it's almost always appropriate to say, "Is there something I can bring?"
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. If you are a guest, and yes, it's nice to be needed, especially if you've got a specialty, side dish or something that everybody loves.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you bring that in a brand new dish or a brand new baking dish and leave it for the host.
I'm sorry, go on. Sorry.
No. Let them use it beyond, your wonderful side dish that you brought.
When I throw parties, I throw a lot of parties, I always say bring a dessert.
Yes.
It's sort of like an easy kind of thing,
That's
and
right.
then you get lots of dessert.
Must be your favorite.
Well, it's nice to have a choice of desserts, right?
That's true. That's definitely true. Well, it's nice if people bring multiple desserts, and maybe they'll bring a couple of footed dessert trays for you to keep. That would be extra lovely.
Uh-huh.
But I think also being a guest, it's really important not to be in anybody's way. It's really nice to have helpful guests, but sometimes you can hover as a guest. People have a difficult time relaxing, and so try not to hover and try not to put your feet up too much. There's a happy medium between, being helpful and being too available.
I understand.
Yes.
I think one of the greatest things you could give yourself, or somebody could give a present to you, if you're going to have a party, is have somebody help you.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Like pay somebody.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's called call the guy. We call that CTG syndrome in our house.
I mean, it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, in essence, when you're throwing a party, you really don't have time to talk. You don't have time to almost enjoy the party, right? I mean,
Right.
It's
Well,
a lot
that's
of
the whole
responsibility.
point. Yep. That's the whole point of being prepared and doing as much ahead of time as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do have house guests, enlisting them, they like to feel needed and welcome. And basically, in the end, it's all about just celebrating, being with friends, making more holiday memories and having everybody feel comfortable.
It sounds great. So are there some websites we can look at to
Absolutely.
learn about things like this?
Yes, absolutely. You need some more information, by all means, go to beds.com/blog.
Okay. Excellent. Well, Kelly, last question. What's good news for you?
I've got lots of good news.
Good.
Lots of good things on the horizon. Very excited about 2011.
Great. All right. Well, however we can support what you're doing, that's good news for us.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kelly. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.